Hello, beautiful people.
Today,
I want to talk to you about my diagnosis from last August. Not as in a few months ago or whenever, it was August of 2021. I'd stop and think what year it was. And I was diagnosed with essential tremors. Leading up to this, several things happened. One, my massage lady told me that she noticed that my head was shaking more than normal, or more than it had. It had increased significantly. I was starting to have issues with picking up cups. I was having issues with journaling. I was having issues with even watching TV in the evening. I would notice as I was sitting there, my head would shake, and I would lean my head back against the back of the recliner to basically stop my head from shaking because it was annoying. Now, I'm going to pause there for a second. If you don't suffer from tremors, or you don't know anybody who suffers from tremors, this video may or may not be for you. I'm going to talk a little bit more about my tremors and the things that I have done and my beliefs. I'm not a doctor. Just in the little bit that I have read and seen, I'm going to share things that seem to make sense to me. And my hope is if you or anybody you know is suffering from tremors, that what this does is it opens up a line of communication. I do not believe that every single person's tremors are related to the same core problem, or I don't think they're all related to the same thing. Okay, this is how I refer to myself. So if you're offended by this, just ignore me. But I said to my husband, I'm broken. Now, I don't mean that in a negative, horrible way. It's just something was broken, and I was trying to find what was broken because I can't fix it if I don't know what's broke. Just like our grill just went out. Well, we can't fix it if we don't know what part's broken. And I needed to find that part in me that was broken. Even if it was just slightly cracked, I've got to figure out what it is because I can't do something about it if I don't know what I'm dealing with. So, that said, if this relates to you, please stick with me. Last year, my dad, who has had horrible tremors, was getting considerably worse. I had gotten worse. I had seen that my dad couldn't feed himself. He couldn't pick up a glass anymore. Like this? Oh, it was not going to happen. It got to the point that he was eating finger foods and he'd only eat at home. And bless his heart, a lot of the food ended up on the floor. So I didn't want to end up there, if at all possible. I didn't know if I could fix it. I didn't know if I could figure out what was broken. But I was not going to give up. And I was not going to just wait until it was so bad that I couldn't function. So I made an appointment to go to the doctor. And my general practitioner flat out told me, this is beyond my scope. I said, okay. He sends me to a neurologist. He sends me 3 hours away to a neurologist because where I live, we're kind of remote and there isn't one. There is not a neurologist in our area. Even though there is a high number of elderly here, there's not a neurologist. So I went 3 hours away and see this neurologist, and they put you through these tests. If you have tremors, I'm sure you've been through it. You have to draw circles, you have to write your name, you have to do all these different things. And that tells them the extent of your tremors. So I go through all of this and answer his questions, and Up until then, I had been dealing with other health issues, so kind of was more aware of my health than maybe the average person. Um, and I also acknowledge that I know me better than anybody. It doesn't matter the doctor, doesn't matter the test. I know me. Um, so I go in with an open mind, but I also go in knowing that I'm going to ask questions if I don't like the answer, or don't believe the answer, or feel that the answer is not complete. That is more accurate. Not that you can tell me bad news, that's fine. Just tell me something. So I go through all of this, and at the end of the exam, the neurologist says to me, after I'd asked him, what can I do? Tell me, what can I do? Are there exercises I can do to exercise my brain? Are there things that I can do to work on stopping the tremors? Is there food that I need to avoid? What can I do? And his response, nothing. There is nothing you can do to stop your tremors. Just wait until they're bad enough. Come back in and I'll give you a pill. Can you relate? If you have tremors, can you relate? Pretty much. Hey, yeah, we're going to diagnose you with essential tremors. And here's the reason why he told me he diagnosed me with essential tremors. Your dad has tremors and you have tremors. I was like, really? That's your diagnosis? That's what you're basing it on? You're not looking to see if there's something broken. You're just taking my symptoms and labeling it. I don't like that answer. So I started doing a little more research. And apparently, and anybody who has been diagnosed with essential tremors, you will understand, there is no test for it. Basically, what they're saying to you is, you've got tremors, we're going to throw you in this bucket, and we're going to call it essential tremors. They can test for Parkinson's, is my understanding, because I've been told I do not have Parkinson's. I'm in a couple Facebook groups, and I've seen a lot of people say they tested me for Parkinson's. Again, the test is kind of vague to me, but I have to trust that they know what they're doing. So I get to my car and I lose it. Completely break down. Crying, hyperventilating, call my husband, and he says to me, bless his heart, I love my husband. He says, honey, did they tell you anything you didn't already know? No, they didn't. Okay. What that told me was, it's time to start digging. It's time to start digging a little bit deeper. Now, I had already, at this point, decided to give up wheat to see if it made an impact on my tremors. Now, if you decide to do this and decide to give up wheat, decide to give up gluten, I'm going to give you a little caveat, a little forewarning. You can't do it for a week. Honestly, you can't even do it for a month. You really need to do it for about 90 days. Because at this point, I had not given up gluten totally. I'd only given up wheat. And I'd only been doing it for about 6 weeks. So the complete effect of it being out of my system was not there yet. However, my tremors were getting better. And when I asked the doctor that, he told me there was nothing I could do. So that was step one that I did, is I gave up gluten. Now, if you don't have a gluten intolerance, this is going to have no effect on you. And you just have to keep digging. So another thing that I did was I was recommended by my chiropractor this book, and I'm sorry, I think it's going to be backwards on there, but it's called Why Isn't My Brain Working? And it's written by Dadis. I'm sorry, Dadis, I have no idea. I'm not even sure I'm saying his first name correctly, but bless his heart. And if you see this, I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher your name. But I do want to share a couple things on here. And I definitely cannot share the whole book with you, at least not today, and I will probably talk about this again. But a couple things. The brain is the heaviest organ in the body, and it's the most oxygen demanding. Interesting, it uses 30% of the body's glucose supply. So your brain needs glucose, needs help. My chiropractor had said to me, he goes, I think your issue is around your cerebellum. I don't know anything about the brain. I still know very little about the brain, but I'm learning. So the cerebellum, or little brain, is comprised of two distinct lobes and sits at the back of your head directly above your neck. It calibrates muscle coordination of movement when you perform basic actions, such as taking a spoon to your mouth. Okay, that makes sense. Symptoms of, I'm going to say it wrong. Symptoms of having degeneration in your cerebellum include episodes of dizziness. I had those. Vertigo, not often, but occasionally. Nausea from visual inputs. Car sickness. 100%, if I'm not driving or in the front seat, I'm getting car sick. Poor balance. Okay, thought I had pretty good balance until I tried. If you've ever done yoga and done tree pose, get into tree pose and close your eyes. See if you can hold the position. I can't. I thought that was very interesting. So, poor balance, subtle shakes at the end stage of movement. Now, I don't know about your tremors, but my tremors were off and on. They didn't necessarily coordinate with me doing something. I sometimes would wake up in the morning and they would just be horrible. I remember trying to walk across our living room to take my husband a cup of coffee. And I'm carrying the cup of coffee like this. And I couldn't make it to him without spilling it. My hands were shaking so bad that I couldn't carry a cup of coffee. And it wasn't a big cup like this. It was a little Fire King 8-ounce cup. It was little bitty. And I couldn't carry it across the room without shaking. Made me cry, to be honest. So if you struggle with this, I get it. I truly get it. This might help you. So there's more things that go into the different parts of the brain. But I want to tell you this also. Brain plasticity can be improved. Sorry, I had to think of the word. It's dependent upon stimulation and being healthy based on what you eat, what you put into your brain, meaning what you read, what you watch, what you listen to, who you're around can affect your brain health. 3 common outcomes of brain degeneration: fatigue, depression, and gastrointestinal problems. So if you have any of these symptoms, this could be the problem. And a lot of times the problem I'm learning with brain degeneration is that because your brain is degenerating, you're not coherent enough and aware enough to realize that it's your brain. So your brain is basically protecting itself from you realizing that it's having issues. Does that make sense? And I found this interesting, and please, I'm not making light of depression, so no hate mail here. From a neurological standpoint, depression is simply decreased firing of the frontal lobe. So a lot of things can cause that. But from a neurological standpoint, it's simple. It's not really simple, but From a neurological standpoint, it is simple. There was something else and I lost my page. Oh, I want to give you hope. If you are like me and middle-aged to older, your brain degeneration actually has nothing to do with age. So I'm going to say that again. Don't blame your age. Don't use your age as an excuse. And he says, if the neurons degenerate, there's a gradual decline in synaptic activity. There is a reason why it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. And stimulating the brain in a positive way, such as through intellectual challenges, social support, good diet, and physical activity will help slow brain aging. This is extremely comprehensive, and I want to respect your time because I've been yammering on for a bit now. But I want to encourage you, if you have tremors like I do, don't give up hope. Keep digging, keep looking, keep trying to figure out what it is that's broken. And then you can focus on the fix. From what I've read in here, sometimes it'll be broken beyond repair, but that also doesn't mean that you give up. I have things that are broken that probably will never be repaired. However, the things that are just starting to weaken, I can strengthen. There's things that can be done to strengthen your brain. Reading, learning more, changing your diet, and I have changed my diet. Like I said, I gave up gluten and it made a huge difference on me. You can see I can now actually hold my hands steady. My head's not shaking. That's huge for me. And like I said, you have to if you're gonna try giving up gluten, you have to give it up for a long period of time. And not everybody's willing to do it, for one. I have been now gluten-free since last August, and this is October, so a little over a year. And I won't eat it. I absolutely will not. I personally do not have cross-contamination, so anybody out there with celiac disease, bless you, bless you, bless you. Because some people have issues even with cross-contamination. I haven't noticed that for me personally. Doesn't mean you won't. Another thing I do is I do yoga. And anybody who has tremors knows that sometimes that's not always the easiest. Another thing that has been huge for me is meditation. Now, I personally have been following Dr. Joe Dispenza. I'm not good at meditation yet. I will continue to do meditation. But meditation, and I've heard people say, oh, I don't want to do meditation. Okay, think of it as breathing and praying. If you don't pray, that's fine. You can still meditate. If you do pray, great, even better. You can meditate and focuses on breathing, focuses on clearing your mind, focuses on centering yourself. It helps with so many things, but tremors is one of the things that it has helped with. It's also helped me with my sleep. It's helped me with my cognitive ability during the day. It's helped me with brain fog. It's helped me with, I don't have depression. However, I call them kind of depressive tendencies. And I've been working on that so that I don't go down that path. So to recap, with my tremors, the things that I have done, I've changed my diet. I am with a global wellness company. No, you don't have to follow them. No, you don't have to do the same thing I do with food. However, that has helped me. Um, I meditate. That has been huge. And I gave up gluten. Again, that is huge. Another thing that I did, which I've heard people say that this helps them, is I gave up alcohol. All of it. I don't know that it has a effect on that. I can't specifically tie that to it. However, if I drink alcohol now, I almost immediately notice a difference in the way I feel. So I think it's throwing off my blood sugar. And of course, if that's out of balance, then it makes your brain out of balance, which makes the tremors worse. And it's just the snowball effect. So I chose to do that. I know some people, they'll drink a glass of wine to mellow them out. And if it works for you, by all means, I have no problem with that. It didn't matter if I did or I didn't, because it's your life and it's your body. But I did want to share that. And this, I highly recommend getting it and reading it. And tremors or no tremors, I highly recommend everybody reads it because it makes so much sense. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not crazy. All these times that I've been to the doctor and felt like maybe I was just completely out of my mind, I'm not. It makes so much more sense. Bless you. I hope you got value out of this. If I left you with questions, please put them in the comments and I will definitely do another video on it. Because like I said, there's so much information in here and there's so much information that I have learned that sometimes I feel like I could yammer on for hours and I don't want to do that because I want to respect your time. I want you to be able to watch this. Check out my other videos. Comment below and let me know if you have questions. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you want a condensed version of everything that I have done with my health, I do have a course that is available. And you can certainly go in and purchase that and you'll have everything all together. And if that's not a fit for you, no problem. Just keep watching my videos and I will just keep sharing. But I do want to know, what do you want to know? What is bothering you? Bless you. I wish you all the wellness in the world. You go have a wonderful day.